Hey everybody, so today we are going to be dipping into the new Urban Decay Naked Wild West eyeshadow palette. So this is their newest eyeshadow palette launch from the Naked line. I am very curious and very, I don't want to say skeptical, but kind of skeptical, right? This is what the packaging looks like. The packaging is gorgeous. It's got this like snake skin faded situation. We all know the Naked palettes. I feel like a lot of us feel similarly about Urban Decay and the Naked line. Now we all love the Naked line. Like any girl that grew up on YouTube in the 2010s, my first like expensive eyeshadow palette was Naked 1, but with where eyeshadow is right now, I feel like for an eyeshadow palette to have a $50 price tag on it, it's gotta be just like top notch, blow your mind, amazing. So this is where I feel like a lot of us are feeling skeptical about the Naked palettes because it's just like, okay, we get it. We get it. It's a Naked palette. Right? I love the like Naked Cherry one, and I think that's the last one that I was like, oh, okay, that one's cool, but it's just too much. It's too much. There's so many Naked palettes and it's just too much. That being said, this one, the color scheme is pretty fun. So this is what the color story looks like. I just wish, like, I think that color story is interesting, but these I could literally live without. I don't know, I have a lot of opinions about this just straight out of the bat. Straight out of the bat? Straight off the bat. One, I am sick and tired of tiny pans. Like Urban Decay, just we don't care about the brush, make the pans bigger. I'm not necessarily the most inspired by this. I think, you know, the kind of warm browns and teals have been done a lot, but I think it could be fun. And here's my thing, I am going to be incredibly harsh on this eyeshadow palette because again, there's just so many affordable eyeshadow palettes that are so innovative and the color stories are so interesting, and you know, the pan sizes and the pigmentation and the butteriness. And the last time that I used Urban Decay eyeshadows, I bought the little, let me see if I can find it. Okay, I can't find it. I think I might have given it away, but I bought this little like quad because one of the eyeshadows was a re-release of a color that My Chemical Romance used or that Gerard Way used. So you know I bought it. And the quality was just horrible. It was so patchy. It was so just not pigmented. It didn't blend. It was just a lot. Also, they did a while ago send me the Naked Ultraviolet, which again, just isn't necessarily the most interesting. I feel like they're trying to do a Huda Beauty kind of situation where Huda Beauty's eyeshadow palettes are very much so in this realm, and you know, I feel like they're one expensive brand that like their eyeshadow palettes are still, they're like one of the brands that like their eyeshadow palettes still stay relevant even though they're expensive. I feel like that's kind of a dying breed, expensive eyeshadow palettes that are still relevant. Unless it's like an indie brand, I feel like these staple cosmetic companies, or Huda started as an indie brand. Do you guys know what I mean? I feel like I'm not explaining anything well. Basically, if an eyeshadow palette is expensive for 12 eyeshadows, it's gotta be bomb. In this day and age, it has to be bomb. So I have now rambled for 5 minutes saying essentially nothing. So I'm just gonna shut up and put on some eyeshadow. I'm mad, like most of you, that Midnight Cowboy isn't in here because come on, it's a Wild West and Midnight Cowboy is the like most iconic Urban Decay eyeshadow ever. Okay, so I'm just going to be using the Primer Potion in Eden. I think I wanna do a like smoky halo eye because I really wanna put the shade Cowboy Rick. I really want to put this shade Cowboy Rick, oh hi camera, hi, in like on my lid. I think that'd be really pretty. There's like no good color to start with. Okay, I think I'm gonna start with the shade Ghost Town. Let's pop this, let's use this brush, shall we? Okay, so I'm gonna take the shade Ghost Town. Pigmentation is pretty nice. And I'm just going to, ooh, okay. Maybe I'm gonna eat my words. Wow, this is buttery, this is pigmented, wow. Oh my god. Also, I will give Urban Decay credit that this one is vegan, which is really, really cool. Okay, Very pigmented, very buttery. Not a lot of fallout. I'm eating my words as of right now. And then I'm just gonna flip and use the other end of the brush and just softly kind of blend the edges. Okay, but here's my thing, is I don't have a shade to blend this out with. Like, there's this shade, which is really, really cool toned. I don't want to blend out the shade, and then this one is really, really light, so I guess I'll just blend it out with this shade. Okay, that's not that bad. That's not that bad. I'm being dramatic. Whatever, I get it. Can you guys see? Let me pull you in. Whoop. These aren't blending the best. Do you see where the other shade has just kind of gone on top of that warm shade and just kind of made it weird and muddy? Okay, I'm gonna go back in with Ghost Town and just go back over it and blend. Kind of fixed our problem. Okay, so those two colors together, really, really, really pretty and really rich. Okay, so then I'm just gonna take a little bit of whiskey and I'm just going to deepen the outer corner with this. These are really pigmented and buttery, for sure. Like, for sure, for sure. I'm gonna take a little bit of that on my inner corner as well. And then every time I'm going back in with Ghost Town to blend. I'm gonna take a little bit of Ghost Town on the edge right here. So kind of shading in the center of my eye, if that makes sense. Very rich, and they're a lot darker than I think they look in the pan. Like, they're so like rich that I don't think the pan does them justice. So I currently eating my words. Okay, I'm gonna take, will this shade look good on the center of the lid? There's that one, there's Rustler, which is like a really cool bronzy, but I'm just not a bronze gal. And then of course there's a gold, but I hate gold eyeshadow more than anything in this world. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna take the shade Cowboy Rick and I'm just going to put that on the lid. Ooh, there's a lot of fallout, like a lot of fallout. It's very, very metallic, but it's also very like glittery. Just taking my brush and just cleaning up so that there's not just glitter everywhere. Like, it's not very punchy. Can you even see it? Okay, I'm just wetting my brush and putting a little bit more on the lid. Oh, there's a hair tickling me. That did nothing. That did nothing. There is glitter everywhere. Like, everywhere. And this shade is just, it's pretty, but I think ColourPop, like Super Shock shadows, give you more of a reflect, because like when my eyes are just like this, like when it catches the light it's nice, but like just like this, it just looks like a regular ass shimmery eyeshadow. Pause on the eyes real quick and let's just move on to face. I'm gonna use the Covergirl Outlast Stay Fabulous, or no, sorry, Outlast Extreme Wear foundation. Then I'm just applying a little bit of the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. And then I'm going to powder my face with the Kimchi Chic Puff Puff Pass Powder. And I have to let my camera cool down because it's not one of my videos if I don't have to let my camera cool down, and then we will be back. Okay, let's work on the lower lash line a little bit. I do want to do just super, super smoky because duh. So I'm going to take, what shade do I want to take? Here's my thing also is I don't like mixing cool tones and warm tones. So I'm struggling with this palette because I have a couple warm tones to choose from and a couple of cool tones to choose from. Also, I don't really want to use the teals or the blues. I just don't really like, I'm very, very picky with blue eyeshadow when I use it. So I'm not really about it. I guess I'm just gonna go in with Whiskey. We're gonna take this from inner corner to outer corner on our lower lash line. Okay, then I'm gonna go back in with Ghost Town. Here's what I'm gonna say so far about this, is if this color palette is your cup of tea, go for it. Like, go for it. But to me, literally the only shades I'm gonna use in this are the two that I'm using right now. So this is not necessarily my type of eyeshadow palette, and the look that I am getting using it, which granted I've chosen to do a basic look, right? Because that's what I see in here that I want to use. Does that make sense? But this look could easily be done with any eyeshadow. Are these incredibly smooth, buttery, pigmented? Yes, they are. But so are my ColourPop eyeshadows. I'm just gonna take a clean blending brush with a little bit of spur and just buff around the edges a little bit. Like I said, I'm going to be super harsh on this because it's $50. It's so expensive. But also, if you are a vegan consumer and this eyeshadow palette excites you, go for it, because it's really cool that it is a vegan eyeshadow palette from them. Then I want to do some smoky liner with the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencil. I remember wanting this so bad, and like when I worked at Ulta, splurging on this because it was still like 17 bucks with my discount. So I'm just gonna take a little bit on the pencil and just run it in the like root of my lashes. Urban Decay is like such an iconic brand, but the market is just so saturated right now. Like, so the makeup market is fucking insane now. So, and like nostalgia, oh no, uh-oh, oh no. Nostalgia can only get you so far, you know? Okay, then I'm gonna take a little bit on my waterline. Oh my god. I'm gonna take out my lower waterline, blend it, and then I'm kind of flicking it out to give a slight wing shape, but also keeping it very smoky. Okay, I'm gonna do the other eye and my eyebrows really quick off camera because my camera, you already know, you know. Okay, we're back. Did I blend? No, I need to blend more eyeshadow. I need to do a lot. I did my eyebrows. I did the other eye. So we're gonna go back in with Ghost Town right on top of the eyeliner. And I'm going to also blend out here and make it a little bit more of a cat eye shape. And then I'm gonna take my clean blender and just blend up in, I had to carve out my eyebrows, so it's a little strong up there, but then I'm taking a little bit of the dark brown whiskey and I'm really just going right on top of the eyeliner to again just blend and soften a little bit. Okay, let's move on to face. I think that's pretty good for eyes. We'll get into my thoughts at the end. For now, let's move on. I'm going to bronze my skin with the Nabla Skin Bronzing and Soft Revenge. This bronzer is beautiful. So effortless. Okay, and then I actually don't know if these are even available anymore, but this is some of my favorite blush. Y'all know I love these blushes. Do I have the correct brush for this though? Yeah, I think I do. This is the Urban Decay Afterglow blush in the shade Quiver. It is so intimidating, but I promise it's not as bad as it seems. I'm just going to dust this towards the top of my cheeks. It's such a pretty color. Oh my god, it's stunning. I love this shade. I'm gonna pop a little bit down my nose and just around as well. Oh, also, I just popped on a little bit of this e.l.f. Ride or Die lip balm on my lips. I talked about this in my favorites video that I put up last week. I love this stuff. I just needed a little bit of something because my lips were literally so dry. Okay, and then I'm just going to highlight down the bridge of my nose with BH Cosmetics Spotlight Highlighting Palette. You already know. I'm actually gonna hit my brow bone with this too. I just love a shimmery brow bone. You all know I'm a sucker for it. Okay, and then I'm going to set all over my face with D-Slick Makeup Setting Spray by Urban Decay. Okay, and then for lips, I'm going to use the Milani Amore Satin Lip Cream in the shade Classic. This is a dupe for Jeffree Star's Androgyny. It is so nice. I love I feel so sultry. I live. Okay, lashes. God, I don't want like huge lashes, but I only really have huge lashes. I know I should have bought some lashes when I was at Ulta and I didn't. I'm gonna use these right here. I think they're from Kiss. I will find them and link them down below, but I'm gonna go pop those on real quick and then we will be back for the end of the look and my full thoughts on the palette. Okay, we're back. The hair is done, lashes are on, we're finished up. Let's talk about this eyeshadow palette. So I have a lot of feelings about this eyeshadow palette. Is this look bomb? Yes. But is this a bomb look that can only be created with this eyeshadow palette? Absolutely not. It's a warm brown smoky eye that can be done with any eyeshadow palette essentially on the market. But I will say that the quality really surprised me because the last time I tried Urban Decay eyeshadows, they were incredibly chalky, dry, just messes. Honestly, they weren't good, but this is incredible. I was pretty harsh on this, and I think it comes from being in the like beauty community where we look at this and we look at all of the other like indie brands and innovative eyeshadow palettes, and this is just kind of like wah, wah. But I think, and you know, I was thinking about it and I was like, there's no way, because like when you go on Trend Moods posts and you see an Urban Decay Naked launch, a lot of the comments are negative. Like a lot of the comments are negative. But you also have to keep in mind that while we are in this beauty social media space, there's an entire market that isn't in that space. And I think that's what these are more geared towards, is just the everyday non-YouTube watching makeup consumer and makeup, you know, people, just everyday makeup wearer. I had lipstick on my teeth, don't at me. But this, as a YouTuber, I'm just kind of like, okay. When it comes to color story, it's really, really, really hard to be innovative right now because every color story has been done already. Every single one. So all these other brands are being really innovative with their pricing, with their packaging, with their composition, with, you know, pan size, with their different themes and all of the other factors, whereas it's not very innovative because it's the same naked packaging, the same component, the same setup. We've just seen it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So I think that's where a lot of the frustration comes from within the beauty community, is like, okay, we've literally seen naked palettes for 10 years now. When did the first naked palette come out? Okay, so the original naked palette literally came out in 2010. So we have been seeing the same naked palette for 10 years. 10 years, that's insane. I guarantee if they were to update and just put, like the Naked on the Run, I've heard really good things about. The like bigger one, have heard great things about. But this, the other naked palettes, I just, especially for the price, I'm a little underwhelmed and bored. That all being said, are these great? Yes. And if this is a color story that is interesting to you, if this is a color story that you see and you want to play with, or if you are a more, you know, average everyday makeup wearer, I think these are some really, really beautiful eyeshadows to just get an everyday look out of. You can just, you know, pop this in your crease and blend it out with a little bit of this, with a little bit of this all over your eye. Same with these shades, or you can make a smoky eye like what I did. You can add a pop of color in the inner corner or a pop of color with like a soft wing liner. I think there's a ton of opportunity in this eyeshadow palette for, you know, really fun and a lot of different looks. I am not the everyday makeup consumer. I have been engulfed in this beauty community for, you know, 10 years. My wants and my needs don't necessarily meet up with what this palette can give me. Does that make sense? I'm really, really curious about how you guys feel about this eyeshadow palette. Was I too harsh? Do you guys agree with me? Are you really excited about this eyeshadow palette? Are you gonna be picking up this eyeshadow palette? Just let me know what you guys think. I do think that of the recent Naked launches, besides just the Naked Reloaded, I really liked that one. I didn't try that one, just like looking at it. I think this is the one that like is the most like, ooh, okay, that's kind of fun. But comment down below, let me know how you guys feel about it. Let me know if it's something you're gonna buy or if it's something you're gonna skip. But that's it, that's me rambling. That is the review on the Naked Wild West palette. That's the look. So yeah, comment down below, let me know your feelings about everything, and I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!